Welcome students to the AVM classes. Today we are going to solve questions related to integers. In our first question, we have to evaluate the given expression. Our first question is 673 multiplied by 9 plus 673. Here we can clearly see that 673 is common. So taking 673 as common, in bracket it will be 9 plus 1, which is equals to 673 multiplied by 10, that is equals to 6730. The property applicable here is the distributive property of integers. Our second question is 1925 multiplied by 101 minus 1925. Here also 1925 is common. So in bracket it will be 101 minus 1, which is equals to 1925 multiplied by 100, and that is equals to 1,92,500. Here also the distributive property of integers is applicable. In this question, the rule of BODMAS is valid. First of all, we have to reduce the terms that is under var. In this question, 2 minus 1 plus 3 is under var. So, on solving it, we will have 2 minus 1, that is 1, plus 3, which is equals to 4, which is written in the second step. On adding 13 and 4, we will have 17. So in the fourth step, 35 minus in bracket 15 plus 14 minus 17. We can open the bracket, so it can be written as 35 minus of 15, on multiplying minus and plus of 14, we will have minus of 14, and on multiplying minus 1 and minus of 17, we will have plus of 17. So that is equals to 35 plus 17 minus 15 minus 14. On adding 35 and 17, we will have 52 minus, and on adding 15 and 14, we will have 29. And lastly, on subtracting 29 from 52, we will get 23, and that is the required answer. In our next question, we have to apply the property of multiplication of positive and negative integers. If negative integers are multiplied up to even times, it will be positive. If it is multiplied up to odd number of times, then it will be negative. So our first question read as minus of 1 multiplied 60 times, and second question read as minus of 1 multiplied 75 times. So as 60 times is even number, so it will be 1, and 75 times means odd number of times, so it will be minus of 1. Our next question is, the difference between an integer x and minus 9 is 6. Find all the possible values of x. Here, either x can be greater than minus 9 or it can be less than minus of 9. So there are only two possibilities for the values of x. Now the difference between an integer x minus minus of 9 will be equals to 6, or minus of 9 minus of x will be equals to 6. So these are the two possibilities of the values of x. So the value of x will be equals to x minus minus of 9 equals to 6, or minus of 9 minus of x equals to 6. On simplifying it, we'll get x minus into minus plus of 9 equals to 6, or minus of x will be equals to 6 plus 9. In the next step, x will be equals to 6 minus 9, or minus of x will be equals to 15, or x will be equals to minus of 3, or x will be equals to minus of 15. Hence, the two possible values of x are either minus 3 or minus 15. In this question, write all the integers between minus 15 and 15 which are divisible by 2 and 3. As we know, there are 29 number of integers between minus 15 and 15, but only those integers are required which are divisible by both 2 and 3. So the integers between minus 15 and plus 15 which are divisible by both 2 and 3 are minus 12, minus 6, 0, 6 and plus 12. In this question, we have to add the product of minus of 16 and minus of 9 to the quotient on dividing minus 132 by 6. The product of minus of 16 and minus of 9 will be equals to minus of 16 multiplied by minus of 9, which is equals to 144. Now on dividing minus of 132 by 6, the quotient will be minus and 22. Therefore, on adding 144 and minus of 22, we will have 122. This is the last question of our class, and it read as, by what number should minus 240 be divided to obtain 16? Let us assume that minus of 240 is divided by a to obtain 160. Then we have minus of 240 divided by a equals to 16, or it can be written as a equals to minus of 240 divided by 16, which is equals to minus of 15. Hence, minus of 15 should divide minus of 240 to obtain 16. Thank you for watching. For properties regarding integers, you can see our previous videos.